I've talked about this with my own health challenges. There are so many people who want to help me, Denzel. They want to help me. Well, that's being very condescending and insulting to that person. Don't seek to help people. Now you're being arrogant, you're being condescending. Seek to serve people, which means you have to let that person tell you how they want to be served. You have to let that person be the master and you be the servant. Now, still do right by them. You can tell them no, that's fine. But at the end of the day, you have to have a certain degree of humility and you have to really want to be of service. Otherwise, you're just being condescending. When you have health challenges like I do, you attract some of the worst Pharisees out there who what they want to do is take advantage of your weakness in order to virtue signal at your expense. And this is what they think of as helping you. And it's incredibly disgusting. But to your point about financial advisors, I've heard more than one story, and you probably had too, of when you don't have your clients properly insured, it also sets up an adversarial relationship between the financial advisor and the client because now the client has to fight the financial advisor when they want to get access to their assets, as they invariably will have to at some point,
Yep.
right? And I've heard more than one story of my clients where they had, they had cancer in the family or something like that, some reason where they needed to get access to what supposedly is their own money, and they had to fight their financial advisor, and it took them weeks to get their own money out of the market. If they had had proper insurance policies in force, they would not have had to do that.
I have a story for you. I'm working with a client who is paralyzed from the chest down, I believe. Been like that for many years. The majority of his life has been like that. And so he's now approaching retirement. We're like a year off. He's got nearly $1 million with his financial advisor in different kinds of retirement accounts that are going to be unlocked. And so now he's wanting to retire so that he can go to therapy more often, so that he can continue to heal his body. And by going to physical therapy at this specific location, he can increase longevity of his life. That like the chances of him living longer are much higher if he gets the proper treatment that he needs, but it would require him to work less. And I started educating him on annuities, which is like a different topic here, but it's
Oh,
part
you're just
of the
chasing a commission, Denzel. You're just chasing
it's
a fat commission. How dare you?
exactly. It's part of the life insurance conversation though, like
Right.
in terms of retirement and longevity and things like that. And I was trying to actually do a three-way with the advisor, kind of bring them in, like
Right. Partner
to
with them.
show them,
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah.
hey, let me show you how our client can live a longer life and extend their dollars on a guaranteed basis, and how you can continue to win because your client won't run out of money. If they don't run out of money, you continue to get paid with your admin fees and commissions. So if I only take a portion now, accelerate that, guarantee it over a period of time, and allow more of his assets to stay with you, you can keep working for him, compound that money, make your commission. He won't have to touch that because we're going to use a combination of life insurance, annuity products, and other methods. So I'm like, you got to think long term. You're thinking short. Okay, he's going to take a bulk of money out, and now your income's going to go down. What if it went like that with a lot of your clients? And I think that's very, very, very possible if we can all be on the same page. But when it comes like fighting and arguing, having to like prove your point and different things, it becomes the customer ends up losing on a tremendous opportunity. And that's what we're faced
Yeah.
with today.
It's
So coming
sad.
back to convertible term is one of those things. At the very, very beginning, we could be setting themselves up for long-term success
Right.
and providing a tremendous hedge against life happening. Not just inflation, but life happens. How do you hedge against that? Insurance. It's number one way.
Right. Right. And I think it's a very it gives you one thing above all else, optionality. Having convertible term gives you optionality, which is something that I think wealthy people appreciate and understand. I don't know that more Americans don't appreciate it like they should. But the other thing too is that I think, unfortunately, life insurance agents are looked down upon, like we're somehow not experts and we're somehow less than the fiduciaries and the financial advisors of the world. They don't seem to appreciate that life insurance is a real specialty. So when we're talking about term, they talk about term life insurance like it's just one amorphous blob. Like, it's all the
Yeah.
same. It's just a commodity. There's no big deal to it. No, actually, there is a science behind how much death benefit are we getting, which insurance company are we placing it with? Let me pre-underwrite you to try and make sure we get you the best rating. How long is that term going to be? What's it convertible to? Are there restrictions on the conversion? Are there living benefits? What riders are we putting on it? All these different things that go into it that are very important to make sure that the client has the right solution. And I think more people should appreciate the real skill that goes into even a convertible term life insurance policy. Because as I've matured in my understanding of life insurance, I think you too, Denzel, I sell more convertible term than ever before because it has a much broader application. Not everyone is yet ready for whole life insurance. Not everyone
Yep.
can get over the negative perception that's associated with it. Not everyone believes in infinite banking, but pretty much everybody probably should have death benefit protection where their insurability is locked in and guaranteed, right?
Absolutely. And let me tell you, COVID did something very good for guys like us. It gave us an opportunity to control the narrative. And so in my own world on my channel, when I tell you I'm at a point now where I get very, very little resistance as to clients getting on the phone with me and trying to use other arguments against life insurance, I can honestly say that conversation is no longer happening. It's flipped to how can this work for me, Denzel? Can you explain how this makes sense? I'm having a hard time understanding it. Can you help me understand it? It's not show me how that show me that this is better than what I'm doing. It's not that anymore. So I think what COVID did, uh, again, it was a horrible event globally, but I like to see the good that comes out of some of these things, and that allows me to stay optimistic and continue to be fruitful and continue to serve at the highest level, which is a lot of people died during COVID for many different reasons. And it at the same time, experts, quote unquote experts, lost a ton of credibility in the last 5 years, like a lot. So bad that you have a large amount of Americans, just people all over the world, getting their financial education on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, you name it, on social media platforms from quote unquote gurus, unlicensed professionals, people that are not traditional finance, people that are not on Wall Street, these sort of rogue, rebel, young, older, married, more likable, more relatable people that are getting in front of a camera like you and myself now have the opportunity to control the narrative about the conversation surrounding life insurance and how important it is due to this black swan event we just all witnessed. Everybody at this point, I would know someone or of someone that passed away during COVID.
Yeah, and
And
Denzel, I have to give you some credit. I think a lot of that has nothing to do with COVID and has everything to do with the authority platform that you have built because you come across extremely well in your videos. You come across with a lot of authority and you are very diplomatic in your presentation. It's not over the top, it's not sensationalized, it's very straightforward. And people can see that you are speaking the truth. And even when you may be, because all of us maybe have made mistakes, you are speaking what you truly believe. There's nothing fake about what you're saying. So even when people disagree with you, they can see that you are speaking what you believe in, and there's a lot to be said for that. I've had clients say that to me, and it didn't really hit me at the time how important that really is. Even clients who decided not to do infinite banking, they're like, you believe this. You clearly believe in this. And they respected that.
Mhm.
There's nothing phony about the presentation. It's not just marketing. So I don't think it's just COVID, man. I think it's also you, because I think your
Thank you.
presentation is some of the best. Just the ways you come across. It's clear that you're an excellent communicator. You communicate these concepts very well, and you handle the critics much better than I do. I need to acquire some of your patience and humility and charity and meekness in dealing with the critics. I let them drag me down to their level. It's just, I don't know, it's a character flaw in me. But I've gotten
Mhm.
better. I've gotten better, but still, I get dragged down into these little hissy fits that I shouldn't be dragged down into. Because I do think
Yeah,
the vast majority of the people watching are probably not going to drop a comment. They're probably just listening and learning.
true.
And the people who scream the loudest are a tiny, tiny, tiny percentage of the population. And so it seems like the world is against you. And really, it's just like two or three people that nobody cares about, right?
It is. It is. It's a very, very, very small group of people. And the way I look at haters now over the last few years in my practice is a reminder that I can keep getting better. I can improve. Maybe there's a different way I can explain this. I've had I don't want to there's haters that no matter what you do, it's always wrong. So those people are useless in that sense to you for personal growth. It's just like no matter what I do, if I go left, it's wrong. If I go right, it's wrong. If I go back,
Yeah.
it's wrong. If I
Well,
go
well, you
up,
they
it's like
you
it's
can grow
always
in
wrong.
virtue. They
Right.
sanctify you. You can grow in
Yeah.
virtue, not necessarily hone your business skills, but you can grow in patience and meekness
Oh, for
from
sure.
those people. Yeah.
But then there's people that don't agree with me, but took the time to watch my video in depth and give their criticism and give their questions and feedback. Those are the people I like to spend a little more time with. Then there's your skeptics. Those are totally fine. They're either going to go to your camp or they're going to go somewhere else. And what I've learned to do over the years is to the skeptics, I say, go look up this person, this person, this person that doesn't agree with what I'm saying so you can get the full context and you can make a really good decision. Because I'm obviously going to have a bias. Everyone's going to have their bias in terms of how they operate and how they proceed in life because of their own personal life experiences and the results they've been able to get. So success looks very different. So I started saying, go look here, here, and here. These are some great resources. And then what often happens is I then have the opportunity to have a conversation with them. And maybe they don't do business with me, but because I might be partnered with someone that doesn't do what I do, I'm able to refer them. And now everybody won in that scenario. And maybe they come back around a year or 2 years later. I've had that happen too, where I've had many people that were just they're like, I love what you do on the velocity banking side, Denzel. I've been able to pay off my debt and get my credit up, my cash flow. I've been using credit cards. But this whole life thing, man, you lost me. A couple years go by, someone dies in the family. Now I'm getting a phone call. They're like, I didn't see it from that perspective. Yes, investing is cool, but where on earth can I put $100, a couple $1,000s, and get hundreds of thousands, even millions of dollars in death benefit? Where on earth
You
can
give
you
me
do that
pennies. Yeah. You give
get?
me pennies, I give you dollars, right? You
Yeah.
give me pennies, I give you dollars.
Where on earth can I get that? Get the guarantees, get that security, and like where on earth? I don't know where else. And
Yep,
so,
and I'm glad we're talking about convertible term because you brought it up, man. It really does come back to the death benefit. It really does. Even if we're talking about infinite banking, it all comes back to the death benefit. That's where everything flows from. So when I hear criticisms of infinite banking, I find myself agreeing with the critics because they're criticizing some caricature of infinite banking. They'll say, well, you guys don't care about the death benefit, you just focus on the cash value. No, that's a caricature actually of infinite banking. This is why
mhm,
I talk about convertible term because if we just take out a whole life insurance policy on you and we design it for infinite banking, it's very rare that it's going to have enough death benefit to properly protect your family. So we've got to supplement it with convertible term. And if that means we pay less in your whole life policy, that's perfectly fine. Offense wins games, defense wins championship. championships, we've got to get you locked in first. And that death benefit is where everything comes from. Without that permanent death benefit, there is no cash value. There is no cash value.